All right, looks like we have everybody here. I would like to call the Brimfield Township regular trustee meeting to order on Wednesday, February 10th at 8 a.m. Roll call for attendance, John.
All those in attendance, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
We have a full board.
All right. We will forego the Pledge of Allegiance today with the because we're virtual, but I will ask for a moment of silence for prayer or meditation. Okay. All right. Thank you. Announcements and correspondences. We'll start with Sue. Do you have any announcements or correspondences today?
No, I don't.
All right. Mike, any announcements, correspondences?
I've been having a little correspondence with a resident on Sunnybrook, David SOOS. He's having issues with trucks. Mike Glad has been working with him. This is, I think you all know this gentleman. He's attended some of our meetings. He's just having some issues with big trucks being parked there. And Mike's doing a good job talking to him. So in case any of them contact you.
Okay. John, do you have any public comments?
I do not. Thank you, though.
Yep. And then department heads, any announcements or correspondences? Nope. All right. I do have one announcement. February 20th, Saturday, February 20th will be the Portage County Township Association meeting. Because of COVID, these meetings have been scheduled virtually this year. They will be every quarter on the third Saturday at 7 p.m. So if you can attend, Lori Kelsey should be sending out the invite here today or tomorrow with the link. It'll be just like this meeting via Zoom on Saturday, February 20th at 7 p.m. We have no scheduled meeting guests at this point. So meeting minutes. John, what meeting minutes need approved? You still there, John, or would you lose you?
All right, sorry about that.
That's all right. Your camera went out.
Yeah, I'll fix it here. Okay. I did. Was the minute book still over there on the other side?
I signed it last night at like
Okay.
4 p.m.
Can we just hold off on that? Kirsten, if you're listening, can you bring that over, please?
Okay, so we'll skip over meeting minutes and we'll go to agenda. I need a motion to accept the agenda.
So moved.
All right, I'll second that for discussion. Any additions to the agenda?
I would like to talk about the Boy Scout possibility of a project for them. Just a quick blurb for us to think about.
All right, do you want that? We'll put that under administration, new business. That will be letter D as in David. All right, anybody else?
I'm good.
All right, hearing no other changes, roll call to accept the meeting agenda.
Hey, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to acknowledge the purchase orders.
I will make the motion.
Oh, Mike.
Oh, wait, purchase orders. No, I can't.
Sue,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep, so I'll make the motion to acknowledge the purchase orders. I need a second.
Second.
all those in favor, Mike,
Abstain.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right, I need a motion for the warrants.
I can make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right, public comments. We had announcements, correspondences. Any public comments submitted that need to be read into order today? I have none. Sue, did you have any that need read in?
No,
Mike, do you have any that need read in?
I do not.
Oh, what date is that?
All right. Anybody else have any public comments that were submitted that need to be read into order? All right, hearing none. John, were you able to get the agenda book, or do you want to table
Yeah.
that till next meeting?
I did. Thanks, Christian. January 27th is the one we need to approve.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept the January 27th meeting minutes.
I can second that.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion pass.
All right, we're going to move into our regularly scheduled meeting with the business section, starting with the police department. Roy, the floor is yours, sir.
Thanks. Thank you, Nick. He had one item listed on old business, which was swear into the new officer. I don't have any new information to update this morning. Still estimating mid-March. As soon as I get some clarification from him on his return from that activation piece, I will update the board and make sure that gets added to the agenda. So no new information to add on that this morning. A couple of other items for you this morning. I attached copies of letters of commendation that were recently issued for Officer Shannon Stagnolia and Officer Steve Yoker in their response to the officer-involved shooting incident over in Kent. I supplied copies of those for your reference as part of my report this morning. Second item was you had requested an update on 2020 goals, progress on goals for last year. Do you want to address that here, Nick, or do you have that under admin as a separate piece?
Just each department can update that.
Okay.
Jurisdiction.
Yeah, I attached a copy of that memo with my report this morning for you as well. There were really three goals that we were kind of targeting for last year. Number one was obtaining certification through the Officer Criminal Justice Services Ohio Police Collaborative for meeting policy standards that had been established in 7 different areas. Our goal was to get that completed by the end of last year, and we accomplished that in April of last year and ended up doing a virtual assessment with them as a review of that, so that goal was met. Our second goal was to reduce traffic crashes on the State Route 43 corridor from I-76 to the Kent North City limits by 5%. Reviewing that data, at the end of the year, we went from a crash total of 37 in that corridor in 19 to 24 in 2020. So we met that goal, but I'm going to put an asterisk by that because I'm sure that the COVID pandemic certainly had an impact on traffic levels coming through there throughout the year. And our data also did not reflect any time that the State Patrol may have spent in that corridor taking accident reports or doing any enforcement activities. But that's strictly BPD data, and we gave that area 255 directed patrols during 2020. And the third item was a technology goal for the department, which was to upgrade the server as well as all the station PCs because that equipment had reached end of life. And Captain Atkins and Brian Gardner really carried the ball on that, getting that project completed for us last year. So that has all been accomplished and updated. So we're in good shape on that front. So that's a very nutshell overview of those 3 goals for last year.
Thank you for providing that update. That just helps us keep on track.
Sure. I provided you with a copy of our 2020 annual report in Dropbox, and also provided you with a copy of our 2020 training report. That's there for your reference and review. And I also wanted to provide you just with a brief update for the February 24th meeting and March 10th board meetings. I'm actually going to be out of the office on both of those dates, so I'll arrange for alternate attendance for the police department at both of those meetings. I do have one item for board authorization this morning, and this is a follow-up to our piece on the towing services agreement and the RFP that was put out on that. After reviewing the 3 different proposals that were submitted, I'm coming to the board to request we enter into an agreement with Phil's Towing to provide towing services for Brimfield. And I just want to add to that, that'd be pending legal review of the agreement document. But the recommended provider that I'd like to bring to you is going to be Phil's Towing, and they are located in Talmadge. And I can entertain any questions that you might have on that as well.
All right. Well, I'll make a motion so we can have discussion on this. I'll make a motion to accept the agreement for towing services with Phil's Towing Company pending legal review of the contract.
I'll second it for discussion. My one question, I know this is, well, it's sort of related. What's your thoughts moving forward then with the towing lot to deassemble it or whatever?
You mean as far as the property, Mike, like that space right there? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for now, I'd leave it as is.
Okay.
We run into a unique situation where something needs to be secured in some fashion outside of the realm of some type of a tow, we would have secured space to do that. But I think thinking longer term, if we look down the road, if we're have a space issue at the police department going forward to accommodate growth, I think that really the only logical place we're going to be able to do that is to go back off the
Right.
rear of the building. So I could potentially see that space, frankly, turning into an employee parking area. If we had some type of an addition put on the back of the station in the future, I could see that space being utilized in that way. But obviously we're looking down the road on that. That's not going to be next year or the year after, but I think it's something we're probably looking at longer term.
Do you have a lot of vehicles you still have to get rid of out of there?
No, we've done a pretty good job of keeping on top of those. If they're there for X amount of time, we process paperwork to have them processed out. And we've done a good job with that. So no, we're not loaded with a lot of vehicles right in there right now. It's pretty open back there.
Okay.
And so how soon, Roy, would this transition happen? When would Phil's Towing take over?
Yeah, it's a good question. We had tentatively targeted March 1st, but I want to be soft on that. I just want to review because this is going to require some procedural changes on our part for how we're going to handle that, and some changes we're going to need to get communicated to our officers and staff, and making sure we're up to speed with the provider on clarifying any items that come up from a Q&A perspective. I had a sit-down meeting of the 3 proposals that we received. I had sit-down meetings with 2 of them that we had pulled out as our 2 candidates. And we did an informal Q&A with them, had a chance to talk. But I just want to make sure we've got all of our ducks in a row before we do that. So I'm going to say March 1st, but that's going to be soft. So if we push it back, it ends up being March 10th. And I think that's going to be okay, but definitely in the month of March. But March 1st is going to be soft.
And then will there be communications for the public to better understand where these cars are being towed to for pickup, those sorts of things? How are we going to handle that?
Yeah, I think you're probably going to see that handled really at the front end of the operational level by our staff. So if someone's involved in an accident and their car's towed, dispatch will have the contact information. It'll go into place for the provider that they'll communicate to people. The officers are going to be able to provide that to them if the car's being towed and they don't have a location of their choice they want to have it towed to. We would say, well, we utilize Phil's Towing. We provide them probably with business cards with their address and contact information. So I think at the operational level, we'll make sure that gets pushed out to folks so they know how to take care of getting their car released.
Okay, perfect. Sue, do you have any questions on the contract?
No,
So I thought if we just did a tentative agreement on that, Nick, I would then just bring the agreement to the board just for your review and signature on that. It's probably going to be look almost exactly like the RFP that's already been approved, just in contract form. But I'd like to bring that to the board for your review and you get a sign off on that.
So I think, yeah, with this motion here, we'll allow you to take it to the attorney to make sure all parties are good with it, and then bring it back to the next meeting if you can.
Okay.
And vote on the official signing of the document at that point.
Okay.
If you could have the document ready prior to the meeting the day before, because that's usually when we do document reviews and signatures, and then we'll give the official motion.
Okay. I think we can do that.
Okay. All right. Roll call. John?
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed.
Only other item I had was a motion for executive session, which you already have on the agenda, and we can take care of that at the close of your business meeting.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Moving into the next section, we'll move over to fire departments. Craig, floor is yours, sir.
Okay, good morning. Fire department, old business and new business are related. So, and that all has relation to the fire and admin building. So just to give an update on that, old business was obviously passing the levy to get the fire station. That happened. So here we sit today moving forward with building. With that being said, as I told you guys the other day, we dropped about a 75-page blueprint on the table back there. So we are in the heavy depths of how far along it is. At some point we'll get together and do the color palettes and stuff like that would be next, but we need to have all this, any changes done by the end of this month. So if anybody wants any say, they need to come over and look at the blueprints and I'll explain things, but by the end of the month, we're getting set in stone on things.
Hey, Craig?
Yeah.
Has he given you any direction yet on, the beams and stuff?
No. No,
Okay.
they know about it. We've talked about it. We've talked about the bell. We've talked about the beams, but we don't have any plans on that yet.
Okay.
Any other questions to that building?
I think the big piece with this is just for the board, if everybody could go over and look at the blueprints. I sat in on part of that meeting. This is just going to designate where the offices are, locations of walls. And we want to get that approved soon because we are up against the deadline to get trees taken down, but we can't get the cost proposals until we get the schematics approved. So if we could all take a look at that sooner than later, because there's a time crunch to get those trees down.
Okay.
While we're talking about that, Dave Ruffner, are you listening?
Yeah, I'm here.
If we need to do that, does Kunzman, is he still doing stuff right now, or?
Yeah, he's still working on stuff.
Okay, would that be our choice if we need to remove those trees?
Yeah, that's who I would call him.
And I have his number right here. I just wanted to know that. There's a timeline for some kind of bats. I don't know, Cassie might know. I have no idea. But, anyways, moving on. The only other thing on new business, we have our federal grant for the radios to move to the 800 platform is in, and I put on there that it will be any day. Well, it started yesterday. So we will have new radios by the beginning next week. And that will be more for the, no one cares about that except us and the PD, pretty much. I mean, that'll let us interchange on our communications. So that is coming up. Other than that, that's all that's going on. We're just busy.
All right. We'll move into administration then. I will give a quick update on this and then we'll start going through the topics that are here. Everybody's probably noticed now we have an old business, new business section on the agenda. The old business section is intended to help us keep track of where we are on projects and make sure that we're not letting them kind of slip through the cracks, so that we're going to, until they're completed, we're going to leave them on old business and give updates every 2 weeks at the trustee meeting. With that said, we'll start at the top of the list for old business. Leadership training. John, did we ever hear back from Ken Blanchard? Where are we at? Because we need to get that cleared up and off the book.
Well, I have the emails. I guess it's just which ones do the captain or the department heads want to participate in. If we want to proceed that way, they're all virtual now, so there's no. They're 2-hour online programs is what they are. So I can send them out to the department heads and have them choose which one they want.
I thought we had picked like 3 of them that we were going to have everybody do.
Well, we do, but I don't know if we have all. I don't know if all 3 of them should be for everybody, because I think some of them might not apply to everybody. Like the 3rd one, I don't think applies to Dave, but the 2 on the top could. I mean, we could pick. One's a Blanchard Management Essentials, Building Trust Online, SLII Online. So
the SLII situational leadership too.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know what the Building Trust Online is all about. Dave doesn't get online and do much of that stuff.
No, it's not. No. They call it, it's their Building Trust class with employees, but it's an online version instead of in person.
I didn't know what that title meant. We just need to pick and choose. We didn't do anything last year. COVID kind of put a cap to it. So
yeah, that's just open from a previous piece. So we just need to close that out is what I'm trying to get done with it.
Well, if we say we're going to do it and push it to all of them, I'll get it all out to them.
Yeah, if we could just do all 3 of those and just get it out to them, I think then we can get that done. We can set a time frame of, I don't know, 3 months to get it completed.
Okay.
I mean, Nick, do they give you any kind of, they give you any kind of information on these things? I mean, I understand, management training and stuff, but Jiminy Christmas.
Well, remember, Mike, this is open from a disciplinary standpoint that hasn't been closed out yet.
Okay. And my other question is, and John, don't take this the wrong way, but John's fiscal, should John be doing this, or shouldn't this be something Craig should be doing?
Well, no, this is because we we need the fiscal approval to pay them. We got to set up an account with this company.
Okay, so should this really, should Craig work with John? John, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I mean, Craig could request it, that I set those up, or I could just write a purchase order and have them out there and send them all out.
Okay, I would do whatever's
I'm
easiest.
just gonna do that right now. I'll send them out and have them pick which ones they're gonna choose, and then I'll write a purchase order accordingly out of the general fund.
Are we gonna do this on a case-by-case basis? Because I mean, like, I think Roy already does other kind of leadership training. I mean, I just don't want, you know what I mean, Nick and Sue? I just don't want to have them do double things. So
Well, this was so that we got everybody on the same basis of a leadership training. This was, I don't think you were at that meeting, Mike, but there was.
okay, well, maybe that's why I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, this was in response to the investigation and the findings we had from a previous discipline.
Okay.
Part of that was that they had to have completed training. We were behind on that deadline, so that's why this was added to the list to make sure we get this completed.
Okay, well, I'm glad.
I'll
we're
get it
going
sent
in.
over, and
Okay.
I'll have them pick. Just department heads pick which one you want, send it back to me, and then I'll get it all set up.
Sounds good.
Well, John, I thought we were doing all three of them for all three people.
Yeah, but I thought there were different dates that they could choose. I guess they could register themselves. They're different times or online. I'll take care of it.
Okay.
I'll coordinate it all.
Okay. All right. So that takes care of that Lexipol system. Roy, I know I sat in on a meeting with you and Craig on this. And Craig, I'll have you jump in on this too, just so the board knows what it is and just an update on what we're doing. If we're moving forward, where we stand with Lexipol and what it means. So Roy, can you kind of lead that discussion a little bit real quick?
Yeah, subsequent to that meeting, I sent out an email to you and Craig, because I think some of the initial dollar figures she was giving were not 100% accurate. I think those numbers were a little bit inflated if you wanted to use Lexipol to help you with the implementation process, have a project manager. You don't have to have that. So I think that makes a pretty significant change in the numbers involved. And I think the number I ended up showing Craig afterwards, it would be around $5,000. But in a nutshell, the Lexipol system, I'm familiar with it because I used it in Streetsboro, and they are one of the leading developers of public safety policy content and then policy training for police and fire departments across the country. I had just introduced it and put it out to Craig as something he may or may not want to consider, be entirely up to him. I know there's a few local fire departments that are using it, but it's something that's on my radar to want to put in place for the police department, regardless of which way Craig may or may not want to go in the future on that. That's certainly his decision. It's something I'm looking at. I just want to look at my final numbers for the budget for this year after we get the confirmation numbers on that and decide whether I'm going to do it this year or not. But that's a very broad-based overview.
And Craig, you've been working, I think you met with Suffield, right, to take a look at their Lexipol system.
Yeah, I actually met with them. They sent me a login link to their program, so I need to look at that and come back to you guys with a recommendation on where we would land as a fire department.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave
So
that
Craig,
on.
so Craig, will you be able to give us an update so the trustees understand it when you get a little farther in?
Yeah, as soon as I understand it.
Okay, because I can just talk to you over the phone about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, they just gave me the login yesterday, so I haven't had time to look at it.
All right. Moves us to the next piece, employee manual. John, I saw you sent the email yesterday to them. If we're not hearing back, what's our goal?
We just need to move on to somebody else. I mean, we've got blown off of, 4 different times now over the last 6 months. So I don't know if they're just too busy down there to do it because of the COVID relief bill stuff that they were doing, but we just need to move on. So I'm going to find another option.
Can I make a recommendation, or at least an item for consideration on that?
Sure.
I know I've used Jonathan Downs with Zashin and Rich for all my labor stuff. I know that's their cup of tea and their forte. They do employee policy manuals for public entities. Just might be shake the bush on that a little bit just to see if that might be an avenue to utilize.
Can you send me his contact stuff, Roy?
Sure can.
Okay. All right. I'll put it out to them.
Okay.
But I think we need to move on from that other option there. I don't know how many times I can ask. So,
Right. Yeah, I mean, if they don't want the business, we'll just move on to somebody else.
right. Okay.
All right. Flag burnings. Sue, can you give us an update? Is the Boy Scouts still doing flag burnings? What's the update on that?
Yeah, they will do the flag burnings, but we just have to get in touch with them. If we have a supply of them that need to be burned, we can get in touch with Mark Bergman.
Do we still have a storage box for them somewhere?
Say that again.
Do we still have a storage box where people can drop those off?
The storage box is at the fire department. And I wanted to ask too, we need to move that since we're starting to go into the construction phase. Possibly we could move it over where the carriage house is at the cemetery, or we could put it back there where the scattering garden was, where the pachysandra is growing in that spot. But we need to, I get with Cassie and see where we can move that where it'd be more accessible.
Yeah, that's a good idea, sir.
Sue, do you think you can give us an update at the next meeting then on the location of where we want to put that at?
Yeah, I'll check with a few people and get some opinions and see where we could go with it.
Okay. Website updates. Craig, how's that coming? I know that we talked about that in the admin meeting.
Well, just to follow up, we had an admin meeting. I don't touch the website much. I know the girls mainly touch the website, and the general consensus is it's not easy to use. So I know we just did this website, but I'm going to give them enough time by the time our next meeting here in a couple months to say, are we moving forward with something different, or have we figured this out yet? Because it's not user friendly is what I'm hearing. So that's going to stay on old business until I allow Rochelle, Cassie, Kirsten, Brian to really dig in deeper on that.
Can you just put on your notes, Craig, for follow up on that, just to make sure that the glaring issues were fixed, that we had to, I know we got the legal updates in there. We got some of the meeting notices posted finally.
Right.
But I know on the mobile version, if you click the 3 dots in the corner to get the drop down, that was not functional. So we need base operation of it, at least, even if it's not totally functional, so that people can access information, especially with us doing these virtual meetings.
Cassie, can you talk to Rochelle about that?
Yep.
Since you're sitting right next to her. Okay, thank you. And that's all I know about it. I'm not the, yes, I'm in charge of that, but I need them to come back to me and say, is it user friendly or not?
Okay.
And what I'm hearing is it's not. So we may be moving forward.
All right, and then the last thing under old business is going to be safety manual. I'm going to start sending these safety policies back out. I know we had a safety committee that we were doing for a while, then COVID happened. I'm just going to start to draft them, send out final drafts for each department to look at. My goal is to finalize this by the end of 2021, just have all the policies in place that we need related to the safety and health program for PERP requirements. All right, new business.
Now we got one more. We had the addition
Oh, yes.
for the Boy Scouts. Mark Bergman approached me yesterday, and Sam Wilson, his Eagle Scout project was the pond at the cemetery. And the Boy Scouts are looking to do some sort of a memorial to him. And so I told Mark that what he needed to do was get all these ducks in a row and make a request to the board to see what they would like to do for Sam. And so he'll be coming up on our Zoom here in the next couple of weeks when they get things. But I just wanted to let you know ahead of time that the Boy Scouts are thinking about doing some kind of a recommendation for him.
Okay, Sue, can you have him work with Cassie too? Because she's kind of been.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll keep Cassie. Cassie will be right there with him. It'll be good. We'll work together on that.
All right. We'll move into the new business under admin then. That was the first one. Next one will be the recycling contract update. Everyone should have received a copy of that. We need a motion on that. Or it can be tabled for further review.
Oh, I'm just gonna make a motion that we approve. It's only 6 months, right? Did you want to read it, or is it?
I mean,
What
no,
do you wanna-
we've all been supplied with the contract. so-
Right, but we don't need to read it into,
No, we
it'd
just need
be
to
a
accept the contract.
Motion to accept the contract, 6-month contract for Portage County Recycling, or Portage County Solid.
okay, I'm gonna make a motion in the positive for this. So we have a little discussion.
Second.
Okay, my whole thing is the 6 months. I mean, my feelings, and I, I'm only one trustee. I just wonder how long the recycle center is gonna be around. It's just sort of strange to me why they're doing a 6-month contract. What's your thoughts?
My only concern is you're going to see another substantial increase in 6 months. I don't know if I have a feeling that they're going to make some changes there because the district is losing $400,000 this year. But I also think because of that, you're going to see another substantial bump, larger than what we're seeing this just for 6 months.
And do you guys all realize that they have notified me as a business that they will no longer be doing commercial recycling pickup? Now,
Yes.
now I know as a business owner, the amount of cardboard I recycle is probably enough to equal a city street. So now they're basically getting rid of the large portion of recycling to save face, which is totally ludicrous. Because I know we're all worried about recycling. I get it. But now you're gonna, it's like you're getting rid of your gold so you can sell silver. You know what I mean? It
Right.
makes absolutely no sense. But then I truly understand how many people want recycling in this community. And I mean, I guess it's going to have to be up to them. If we approve it, I mean, they're going to have to pay it. I mean, we heard them loud and clear. And regardless what I think, I mean, all I can do is what the residents think. And I mean, and if it's too high for them, they need to let us know, you know?
Well, that's my only concern is that we went from $225 a month for pickup to $375. Now they want to go to $525.
Yeah, and I'm like you, Nick. I think it's just going to keep going up.
And that's in a year. So basically in a year, we went from 225 to 525.
Yep.
That's pretty substantial.
Yep. So we're basically solving their mistakes.
Well, I'd like to interject here that the Methodist Church here in Brimfield received a letter from recycling, and they told them that they wanted to charge the church $250 a month for picking up the cardboard. Well, the church no longer has those dinners. The church has no waste of their own. I mean, it all comes from the food cupboard. Food cupboard is all donation only. We've had no fundraisers for over a year, and yet the recycle wants $250 a month. So the church and the cupboard handled the situation, and they no longer have an association with the recycle center.
Yeah. So the big things that happened, just so everyone's aware, is number one, recycling district is no longer providing free service to nonprofits. Number two, they're canceling commercial contracts. Number three, they're coming back to all residents to standardized rating structure, bringing everyone in the county up to the 525 mark, with I anticipate additional price increase again in another 6 months.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the whole bad thing about this, you know, I know we all want to recycle, but you know, my choice is now, do I go with my commercial hauler who will charge me so much more? You know, so, I mean, to me, I'm probably just done recycling. So
Right.
messed up.
All right. Well, they sent over an option. Motion sits on the floor. It can either be tabled or voted upon.
I think we should just go ahead and vote on it and be done with it and go up to July the 1st.
I
No,
agree.
this is actually from July 1 to December 31st.
Right.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
No.
Sue,
Yes.
motion pass. You want me to write the letter?
Yes, if you could, John.
Okay.
All right. Next up is the Brimfield Kent JED. Just to give everybody an update, we had a JED meeting a little 2 weeks ago. Taking a look at the finances for this. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up the document. Fourth quarter financials. Where did that document go? Fourth quarter summary. Here we go. All right. So previous 12 months for the Kent JED from January 1 of 2019 through December 31st, 2019, the Brimfield Kent JED brought in $207,000. The current 12 months, January 1 of 2020 through December 31st of 2020, the Brimfield Kent JED brought in $222,000, an increase of 7.04%. We saw in the same period, October through September, that's the balance to allocate the money that could be dispersed, a 9.07% increase over the previous year. So the JED actually did much better than projected. We actually were about 20% over our projections for the 2020 year. We also did our 2021 budget for the Brimfield Kent JED. Looking at that, we made a minor increase. I anticipate the increase to be more than this, but with COVID, we just don't know how that's going to play out yet. So we are projecting a final budget of $190,000 to come into the JED, to be split 50% Kent, 40% Brimfield, 10% maintenance and improvement fund. Any questions on the finances?
Nope, and we got their check, so we're good.
They did actually deposit that check finally? They sent the check, John?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. All right. Hearing no questions. All right, we'll move into clothing allowance. Craig, what's going on with that? You're on mute.
You say me, I'm gonna kick it to John.
Yeah, I think we talked about this at prior meeting, but we had put out the board that we're gonna have a $500 COVID allowance for the admin non-union employees. To go out and buy additional clothing because of that. So a lot of them don't have Brimfield Township clothing as it is, so, or they're buying it on their own. So that's my request, is that we approve a $500 clothing allowance, COVID clothing allowance for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 employees, 5 non-union employees.
So move.
I'll second.
Any discussion on that?
All right, roll call.
Yeah, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. I'll take care of that.
John, do you want me to request the go through Kirsten, or are you guys just gonna take care of it?
I'll take care of it. I got it.
All right, anything else under administration? All right, hearing none, we'll move into zoning and economic. Mike Ladd, the floor is yours. We'll start with old business.
Okay, thanks, Nick. Yeah, you had a couple things under old business here. Let me just pull those up.
Yeah, the first was the blueprint scanner. I don't know if you made any
Yeah,
progress on getting that before us.
Yeah, the blueprints scanner, I'm working with SC Blueprint out of Cleveland, getting prices on what they have and what they have actually used. We don't need a brand new one, but some of them are in good shape, so I'm taking a look through those now. You have medical marijuana on here in the zoning updates. Those were approved back in 2019. Those would be under section 309.02 B21, 313.02 B5, and 314.02 B7. So they are in general commercial, light industrial, and heavy industrial is where we made those changes.
All right, Mike, cross that off our list then.
Okay. Zoning board training. We did have training last year. It was a different type of training. What we had scheduled with Mark with COVID had to be revised, and we had to go through, and all the new laws from the governor had to go through both our virtual training for both the zoning commission and BZA, and then we streamlined it. I think it's a good process right now, the way it's working. I think D. Hoff and Beth could attest. The meetings go pretty smooth. They experienced the first zoning change with our boards being virtual, and I think it went pretty smooth. So no issues.
Are we going to continue that as an annual training, Mike? That's why I put that on there.
Yes, every year we're going to have training because we're always having new board members. People change and people forget things. And I don't want to get sidetracked with some of this stuff that comes in that really doesn't pertain to the zoning code, and they come in, use is not covered. I want to make sure that they get trained in what they can and can't do in those situations. So I think it's important to just do it annually. And Mark is setting up some time now. He gave me some dates, and I just wanted to see if it was okay with the board if we could do that in person, maybe at the community center for each board.
Yeah, if we can keep it around 10 people.
Yeah,
in
we
each
should be able
community
to.
center.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there any objection to that from Mike or Sue?
No, I don't object. Good idea.
Mike, are you okay with that?
Yes, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Thanks. And I'll go into my report. The virtual Board of Zoning Appeals hearing is February 17th at 7 o'clock. The Zoning Commission is February 11th at 7 o'clock. This is both in the evening. The new certificate of compliance fee schedule is proposed for 2021, and it's attached. I don't know if you got a chance to take a look at what I did with the fire fees, but all I did is mirror the zoning. And we had that mirrored from the beginning, but we did update our zoning fees. So I figured we should probably do the fire as well.
Craig, do you have any objection to that? Or are you good with that?
No, that's Mike and I have talked about this, and that's how it should be. That's how a majority of people do it. So no, that's good for us. So no objection here.
Do we need a motion on those fees then?
Yes.
I'd like to make a proposal to accept the certificate of compliance application and zoning fee, fire inspection fee updates.
Second.
Say that one more time, Nick. I'm sorry.
Motion, that's okay. Motion to accept the certificate of compliance application and fire department inspection fee update. And there'll be a document, John, you should see that shows the redlined cost increases.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, the next thing I have on my list is the trustees vote on zoning amendment application Brimfield Development Company LTD to change RO residential office zoning to IC integrated commercial along with the regional planning suggestion on a small piece that they would like to change into general commercial in the front part. And then I have that all attached with each one. I'd like to have, if possible, a motion number on each parcel. I know it's sort of lengthy, but that'd be the right way to do it.
So you want 5 motions, 6
There's
motions?
going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 motions.
Yeah. John, I think the easiest way to do is if you look at that public hearing agenda that we had earlier, just go off of that. And
Yeah, I got them all. We just need
Okay.
to pass 7 of them then.
Yeah.
There's 7 of those, and then there would be 1 from changing the existing RO to GC for the pump station property. So I would add 1 more onto that for the regional planning's recommendations.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, so I'll start. I'll make a motion to accept the zoning amendment application for partial 04-036-00-00-001-000.
and a second.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor? Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed.
And just for the public's knowledge, there was public hearings on this at all levels, from the zoning commission to regional planning to the trustees. And those were all advertised, correct, Mike?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, next motion. I'll make a motion to accept zoning amendment application number for partial number 04-036-00-00-002-000 from
I'll make
RO
that motion.
Okay, all those in favor? Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed.
I'll make a motion to accept zoning amendment application for partial 04-036-00-00-004-000 from RO to IC.
I'll make that motion.
All those in favor? Mike,
Who seconded it?
you were
I
second.
made the motion. You got the seconds on those, Mike.
Okay. Okay.
Nick, or
Yes.
actually, Mike, are you in favor?
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed.
Make a motion to accept zoning amendment application for partial 04-036-00-00-005-000 from RO to IC. Need a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed.
I'll make a motion to accept zoning amendment application for partial 04-036-00-00-006-000 from RO to IC.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed.
I'll make a motion to accept zoning amendment application for partial 04-036-00-00-008-001 from RO to IC.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed.
I'll make a motion to accept zoning application, amendment application for partial 04-036-00-00-011-000 from RO to IC.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed.
Mike, can you give me the district changes and partial number for that small piece on 43, please?
I don't have the parcel number on this, I'm sorry, but it says from regional planning, I have the RO portion, property owned by Summit County Water Resources be rezoned from RO to general commercial.
All right, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
From RO to what, Mike?
GC, general commercial. And that would be as per regional plannings and zoning commission's request.
I have the parcel number if you need it.
Okay, good, perfect.
It's parcel number 04-036-00-001-010. Summit County Board of Commissioners is
Thank
the
you.
owner.
All right. So hold on one sec here.
You need that again?
Nope, I got it. Thank you. Okay, Nick, you made that motion, or did Mike?
Yep, I made that motion. Need a second.
All right, all those in favor? Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed.
All right. Those are good to go.
Writer's cramp now.
You earned your paycheck today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
There's a waiting period on it, but other than that, I'm gonna have the maps updated while we're in the waiting period, and then you're good to go, Dan and Beth.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
All right, Mike, floor is yours.
Okay, so request the trustees to send 1214 Sunview to the prosecutor to follow up her existing violations. I have the pictures attached. This is something that it's been around a while. I have several neighbors complaining about it. Actually, one of them comes into John frequently, so I have gone down there. I have cited the property several times. Tried to work with the owner, and now it sounds like they have sold the property to his son. And so and the problem continues. Nothing really has happened there other than it's gotten worse. So I'd like the prosecutor to follow up and try to get it cleaned up.
All right, I'll make a motion to send 1214 Sunview to the prosecutor's office for follow-up on existing violations.
I will second that.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
motion passed.
Okay, next one is a request of trustees to send 3242 State Route 43 to the prosecutor for follow-up on existing violations. Nick, this complaint, you just recently got a complaint on this one as well. This one was cited in early of 2020 with follow-up letters and no response. This one might even potentially be an abandoned building, but I'm going to follow up with the prosecutor to start with this. You might see some letters for search warrants later on, and then possible demo. So, but we'll start the process this way.
All right, I'll make that motion to send 3242 State Route 43 to prosecutor's office for follow-up on existing violations.
second,
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed.
Okay, then our permit fees year to date, this was yesterday, and it's changing daily. When we pulled the numbers, the total was $26,625. But then yesterday we received over $20,000 worth of more permits that have to run. So we're doing good with permit fees for the year so far. So,
Very good.
and that concludes my report, and thank you very much for everything.
Yeah, no, thank you for what you're doing. Can you just give us a quick update on what's happening at the golf course there? I know there's just a lot of talk online about it. Just 30,000 foot overview of where we're at, what's been approved.
And there's two things that we're going to get, once the website gets up and whatever needs to happen with that gets going good, we're going to start putting the drawings up there for everybody to see. That way that there's no rumors going around what's going on. That is Redwood. Redwood is going in there, and I just recently looked at the rentals on there and talked to one of their senior vice presidents of the company. Some of those rentals will go up to $3,000 a month. As there's professionals coming in. They look very, very nice. They're adding more stone to them and doing a lot of things up there, and then I think it's going to be a nice addition over there. They look like single family homes. So
I think that's the big piece for people to understand, that it's called Redwood Apartments, but they're not big brick apartment buildings that you would normally picture. These are more single family homes.
yeah, they're ranch homes with 2-car attached garages is what it is. So
3,000 a month. Wow.
yeah, there's some they say that they start at 1,500, but as you pull up the website for our area, there's nothing in that's going to start at that price now. So
Crazy.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So the only Redwoods applied at this point, right?
over there for that one. And then I did send you an email this morning with some of the upgrades and architectural features for the nursing home. They're going forward. They're on the agenda this month. So that'll be a Malloy and 43. So I'll have that put on the website as well, as much as we could get up there.
Is there any updates on the other housing development on Malloy where they're cutting back trees on the side there?
Yeah, that's fully approved. They're going to start with, which is not traditional, and what you don't see in this one is there going to be some custom built homes in there to start off. And you know, I know that they'll be advertising for that soon. And then they're going to bring in another builder to finish up the rest of it. Not so sure. They didn't commit to any one builder yet. It could be Pulte here in Talmadge. As you see, they're selling off really quick in this area. So it could be a more expensive Ryan, but I think they're going to be up there in price. I think they're going to be quality homes. So,
Okay. Yeah, because once again, I think I heard low income housing back there somehow too. So just everybody knows that it's going to be custom.
no, I think the majority are going to be right around 400,000 in that from what I'm talking to the developer with. So,
Okay.
some be a little bit more than that, depending on what you want. So.
All right. Any other questions from the board? All right. Thank you, Mike, for your report. We'll move into road department.
I'm more than everybody. The old business, the roadside tree cleanup project, we finished taking down the rest of them trees in that area that we had left that was just needed dropped. So that's been completed for right now.
Dave, I put that on there because we had talked about trying to do a section every year. Is that still the plan where we're going to do roadside cleanup?
That's still the plan. Every year we're going to keep on bad areas, get them cleaned up.
Okay.
Yeah, because actually I'm looking more into like some stuff on Sunnybrook Road this year.
Okay.
Have you noticed how much the electric company is cleaning up? I mean, they're going big time into it.
Yeah, that's to bring in a different phase of electric down Malloy Road to that new development and stuff that's going on.
Yeah, we got them up around the restaurant doing big stuff. I guess it's all this big upgrade they're doing. That's what one of the tree cutters told me.
But I'm hoping they just keep cutting more of them down all over the town. That saves money. I mean, that clearing they did on Malloy Road actually was very good on that corner. It really needed it bad. So
It sure did.
I talked to the county about the Sandy Lake Road and County Road 18 update for the stop signs and stuff. They're actually going to add more signage and stuff there, not flashing lights or that stuff. This is how they're going to move forward on that. They're going to put more signages up on all the corners, you know, give people more fair warning on that. The stuff at Maple Crest and 18, the turn signal light there, that is on order by the developer there, and they haven't got it in yet. So as soon as it's in, that's when they're going to establish and put it up, or they're going to dedicate just a turn lane coming out of there. So it's all kind of waiting for the turn light to come in.
Okay.
A little bit of the new business, I guess that's where I'm going. Right now we've been mainly keeping we've been working between snowstorms and ice storms, keeping the roads cleaned off. With all the running of the trucks, we've been doing a lot of maintenance on the trucks too, making sure, you know, the fluids, belts are good, that kind of stuff, just routine maintenance. We did complete the parking lot area by the Carter shelter out here by the playground equipment, the add-on. You can't really see it. It's kind of completely under snow now, but it did come out pretty daggone good. You guys did a great job. We've been getting, I mean, I hate to say it this way, but we've really been getting hit hard with funerals. I mean, like this week alone, I have 4 funerals. So we're trying to, I mean, it's kind of hard to get a bunch of other stuff going when you have funerals after funeral after funeral, because we have to dedicate a couple guys down there all the time. So yeah, some things have slowed down, but the guys have been doing a great job. I've had these guys busting their behinds on the roads for the last couple weeks, and things are going. Looks like we're going to be busy for another couple more. So
Do you have an estimate of how many funerals you've had since the 1st of January?
The beginning of the year so far, by this Saturday when we can have the last one, if we don't have another one added in, it'll be 14.
Okay.
And last year at this time for the whole month of January and February, we had 2.
Wow.
The difference is, and it takes a little more time this time of year, you know, try to get in, clear snow, you know, and find the proper stuff where the burial's going, so.
Thank you.
And other than that, I mean, did you want us to do the goal things today, Nick, or?
If you could give an update on your goals, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, the Sterling Green project and the Chapman Farm project was redoing some asphalt and curb and gutters. They were completed last year, and it come out real nice by Cardinal Paving. The chip and seal project, the 9.5 miles, we didn't quite make that quota because of some of the other projects and stuff going on. Because we did have the Sonic Road box culvert and the Malloy Road culvert replacements. But altogether in the last 2 years in 2019, because the one job continued into 2020, and all the projects that we did 3 miles of paving, 2 miles of motor paving, and 5.72 miles of chip and seal, where altogether at the end of 2020, we did 10.72 miles of roadway work. So, and that's where all that kind of stuff stands. And we're working on this year's goals, new projects. Some people will be very happy as long as the numbers come back pretty decent, but we'll see. The county is actually working on getting me prices for the sugar maple development. And going on from that point, I have a meeting with the county, with Talmadge, the city of Talmadge, GPD, Portage County, and us have a meeting this afternoon about the Howe Road project, the culvert replacements and stuff. So we're all going to sit in. If anybody else wants to sit in on it, let me know, and I can have Mike Collins send you over the link if you want to listen in. It's just kind of to get everybody on the same page and make sure everybody's agreeing the ball rolling for the OPWC grant job this year.
We have another one coming up as well, and we'll give information out on the 76 interchange. Mike Collins is going to send us an invite on that as well. We just didn't receive it yet, but as soon as we get that, we'll send to the trustees if you guys want to be part of it or listen in, because that's going to be important and it's going to affect police and fire as well. So we'll have that request out to everybody when that meeting and that bid opening comes.
Also, I know Mike Ladd's been working on this, and there'll be an update on February 20th at the Portage County Township Association. The subdivision regulations are getting updated. Mike, I know you've been kind of spearheading that with Rootstown, trying to get those county subdivision regulations updated, which is going to have a big impact on us on developments in the future.
Yeah, the changes that were made throughout the whole year on the board, and Todd and regional or water resources and Larry Jenkins with the engineer, we're all part of the process, as well as Rootstown. Going through the year, you're going to see that at that board and a couple other places they're making the changes. They're extensive changes to subdivision regulations, which is much needed here. I think we filled all the gaps and the loopholes where things could be cheated or missed. There's a lot of safety catches in it, so it's a good plan.
Hey, Mike, are they looking to start that interchange project this year in 21, or is that going to start in 22?
No, they're starting this. They're going out for bid on the 21st, so they're starting this year.
Okay.
But I believe what it was planned for was a 2-year project, but we'll know as soon as they start. Contractor comes in and how many guys he could throw on it and how fast he could do lane changes, stuff like that.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, Mike, what are they doing along that Mogador Road piece? Coming from Akron, the exit, are they going to get rid of that road access to Mogador Road?
Yes, that is that whole area is changing. There's some right-of-way takes in there. That old building there looked like from the plan that was a right-of-way take. So yeah, there's a lot of changes in that area. And as that meeting comes forward, when they submit and give me the full set of drawings along with Dave, then we'll send that off to you so you can see.
So that old building you're talking about is the old ice cream store?
Yeah, as you're coming off on the right-hand side there.
So that'll all be gone?
It looked like that was a right-of-way take. Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like it's X'd out with a demo on it. So. Yeah.
All right. Anything else on roads?
Just to let you know, after the meeting today, Mike Collins will probably be a special guest at the next trustee meeting to go over the How Road stuff, what the conclusions we come to with this meeting.
Okay. Just make
That way,
sure.
if you guys have questions, you can ask him and all that stuff.
Okay. Just get with Brian to make sure he sends him a link, and then get with Rochelle to make sure she places him on the agenda for us.
Yep, no problem. And that concludes my report.
Okay.
All right. Move into Parks and Rec. Cassie, the floor is yours, starting with old business.
Hi, I have a very long report today. I need to add my 2020 goals update to the end. Somehow that got bumped off my report. I don't know if that needs to be changed on the agenda or not.
No, it's just an update. There's no voting, but I put a note here.
Okay. So for old business, did you want me to do goals first or?
Do old business, and then we'll give the goals update.
Okay.
However you want to do it.
Sure. So baseball fields, I'm working with Lewis Landscaping to finish the work that was started on the fields in 2018. That work is weather dependent, but the deadline for that is going to be March 22nd. The fence at Lions Park around the playground equipment, I've been working with Dave on that, and well, this kind of goes in my next point, is that we are working on getting new playground equipment installed, but we were discussing possibly installing the fence after the new playground equipment goes in, just because we don't know exactly what the layout of the playground is going to be yet, and there's going to be some grading work that needs to be done. So we might look at doing that. I know Dave said that he has already purchased the equipment to build the fence, though.
Dave, if we wait for playground equipment installation, are we going to run into a manpower issue though? With timing, because you guys will be into spring then at that point, and you guys are busy with other projects, or are we going to be able to dedicate them to getting it done?
Well, no, we can dedicate to get it done. What I'm looking at is, say like Cassie mentioned, the playground equipment. Say if we have to drill the holes like we did last time, then I'll just rent a piece of equipment and do the fence post, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff all together, because the grading will be done at that point before you start drilling the holes.
Okay.
So then that way you're at the point, we can drill the holes and have everything done at one time.
Okay.
I mean, now if the playground equipment ain't gonna come until summer, okay, yeah, we might bump our part the fence up quicker, but we just gotta see when the playground equipment stuff is done.
I mean, if you're renting equipment, will you be able to do the trail markers at the same time?
I mean, it just all depends on the size of the post you're putting in. I mean,
Okay.
these up here are gonna be 6x6s. So we're gonna have an 8-inch auger. If you're only putting like little 4x4s in, we don't want to use the 8-inch auger to drill 4-inch posts.
Okay, I understand.
I mean, we could get quote unquote, I think I can get it all from Leppo's where I could get 8 and 4-inch augers, but we just it's just one of them things we'd have to know for sure.
Yeah, I'm just worried about your manpower,
Now we'll get it handled somehow.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
I'll turn Cassie loose on it.
The next item is park grants. That was one of my goals for 2021, is to start researching grants for the Parks Department. I've contacted Gatchel Resources, who works with the fire department on their grants. They said they were very busy with the project until February 12th. And after February 12th, I can start talking about parks grants. So that is in the works. And then I was looking at a subscription to Grant Watch as well, which is pretty much the primary website for government grants. So that's on my want list for this year.
Well, how much is the subscription?
I think it's $200 a year.
I think we should go for it.
And that's something that anybody in the township could use too. It's not just for Parks Department.
I mean, are you ready for us to go ahead and vote on it to get it
Sure.
started? I mean, every day we wait is one less day we could have a grant.
Right.
Hey, what's it called?
Grant Watch?
Okay, well, I'm gonna make a motion that we spend the $200 to get started with Grant Watch.
I'll second that.
What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think if we can get on a grant watch list, that helps us. I think if we can get this to go through, and then Cassie, if Gatural Resources says they're available after February 12th, if you can give us an update at the next trustee meeting of what your initial meeting with them went like, that helps, because I definitely want to try to get some more funding into the parks with, I know Mike and I both have a lot of big ideas, so we just got to try to get some grants.
Yeah, we got to stop drinking all that bourbon. I'm kidding.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
Well, while we're on grants real quick, Cassie, have you looked into any more on the NatureWorks?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the funding situation for NatureWorks is due to COVID. I know a lot of the parks type grants have been cut or reduced. So I'm still waiting to hear. I know that had been pushed back, but I'll need to check their website again to see if there's any updates. Because last time I went to look on their website for information, all the grant or the NatureWorks grant information wasn't even available on their site. So I'm not sure if
Okay.
that'll be available this year.
Yeah, well, we just want you to be very aware of grants.
Right.
Because that's how we move things forward. Thank you.
Yeah, Grant Watch is a great resource for that because it also includes a lot of the smaller grants. And I know America Walks was another one that I looked at that gives out small grants for hiking trails and things like that. So we'll have a lot more of those available to us with that.
Yeah, because hiking trails are where it's at. We need to get those going.
Agreed.
Okay.
My next item is playground equipment. I had a meeting with Meyer Design on the 4th to go over the addition to the existing playground equipment at Lions Park. I've included the copy of the sketches in the trustee meetings folder. If you want me to email those to you, I can also. And I told him that I liked the sketches that he sent to us, and I wanted him to give us some price quotes on different options. So we had a couple different options, including a cladder bridge and some other climbing equipment. And there was also a mock-up for a CNC dump truck and some other vehicles to be put out there. And also he did a mock-up for a swing set. Dave was with me at that meeting, and I know a swing set had been discussed. The logistics of it, it's not impossible, but it would take up a lot of the space right at the front of the park. So he did do a drawing for that. So I just asked him to price all of that out and send it to us.
So will he have a price by next meeting?
He should. Yeah, he's been really quick about getting back to me.
Okay.
And then trail expansion and updates with the trail markers. I've been working on a trail map. I've been out hiking in the snow, and I have a GPS device on my phone that allows me to track where I've been walking. So I've been going out and mapping possible reroutes of the trails. We got a lot of feedback from the Parks Committee that there was some confusion on the trails, lots of switchbacks and trails leading to the neighbor's property and old trails that lead to nowhere. So we're just trying to reduce confusion there. And also the trail gets very wet. So if we can avoid some of those wet areas, I think that would be good. I'm running into a little bit of an issue though, because everything's frozen and covered in snow. So it's kind of hard to tell where I'm walking. So then going along with that, trail markers, I was taking an inventory of the existing trail markers and evaluating whether it would be better to fix the ones that we already have versus replacing all of them. And I think replacing all of them would be the way to go. And I was looking at carcinite markers, which are like a fiberglass composite type of marker that's reflective. And then the website that I was looking at has adhesive vinyl stickers that you can put on them. So if you wanted a sticker that said like no ATVs or like no alcohol or anything like that, you can put the stickers down along the post. And then you can also put your custom stickers as well. So if we wanted to put like the Briner Twitchell Trail, or we wanted to put the Brimfield Township logo, we could do that. So these would be like tall, narrow posts, and we can also get them in different colors too. So
have you got any prices on them yet?
I was looking at, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think about 20 posts is around $600, which I thought was pretty reasonable.
Okay. So when are you going to be ready to get some ordered?
Next meeting, I can have that for you.
Okay. Just while everybody's on board here, well, I was talking to Cassie. You know, it's like we have two entrances to our park, everybody. You know, we have the one that goes over the bridge and then the one that goes by the ball field. I suggested to Cassie to take advantage of the two entrances and turn that into just one big trail. So we might, you know, there might be a portion of the trail where they have to walk the same area to avoid the wetness. But then because I'm fairly familiar with where it's wet back there, where they could actually go back and hook into the original trail that was built by the Smiles. And then you could feed out through that bridge, you know, because the big thing is we got to give mileage. People that hike want mileage.
Yep.
So that's why I'm glad she's out there walking and we can all sort of sit down and. Okay.
All right, and then I was going to add my 2020 goals update to this. So my goals for 2020, my first one was to have one community event per season and one program per month. That was going really well until March, and then we hit kind of a snag, obviously, with COVID. So spring, we didn't have an event. Summer, we had virtual Touch a Truck, and then I guess technically the fall was the Christmas community drive-through, and then we also had the lighting contest. And I also tried my hand at some virtual programs, which brings me to my next point, which are my second goal was to improve community awareness through branding, marketing, and outreach. Obviously, I wanted to attend more in-person events, but that just wasn't possible. But I did increase my use of social media. We put flyers out for our events. I know with the community cupboard and at the fire department drive-through event. I had some partnerships with Portage Park District, and also for the lighting contest, I made partnerships with the surrounding communities. And we also started the Parks Committee and Backyard Brimfield, which allowed us to get input from the citizens of Brimfield for our parks program. So we did, despite COVID, I feel like I did achieve that goal. And then my third goal was the installation of the playground equipment, which obviously didn't happen, but that's a goal for 2021.
Sounds good.
All right, and then new business. Parks programs, I had and have 3 programs going on virtually this month, which are listed there. The Groundhog's Day program on the 2nd, I had a Valentine's Day craft on the 14th, and Backyard Brimfield on the 20th. Last meeting, we discussed the athletic field rental policy regarding refunds. That language has been added to the rental policy now. That form is in the folder. I don't know if you wanted to review it, but I can read it for you if you would like.
Okay.
Let me pull that up. Sorry about that. Okay, it says item number 2 is refunds will be issued when the field is unavailable for use due to closure by the township. Games canceled due to inclement weather may be rescheduled if park director is notified of cancellation prior to game start time.
Do you have something in there about, I mean, what if the pandemic gets worse? Do we need anything?
Well, that I felt like would be included if the field is unavailable due to closure by the township. So then we would put out something saying
or the state.
Right, yeah, but
No, but I think it's covered, Mike, because we would actually, if the state closes, we still make a motion to close too.
Okay.
Right.
I don't want to leave it in the state's hands. I'd rather it come down to us making that decision.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of left that open-ended too, because I mean, really, we could close the field for any reason. If a tree fell down and we needed to remove it, if maintenance needed to be done, if there were closures due to COVID, you know, for whatever reason, if the township were to close it, then we would issue a refund.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm good with that.
Okay. I had an update on the Odot noise abatement study. So they contacted me and let me know that there's a study underway now between Route 43 and Route 44 of noise sensitive properties within 500 feet of I-76. So that'll be going on for the next 4 weeks, I believe they said, and then they're going to give us an update on that.
That's a huge area.
Yeah, it is. I think I kind of sparked something. I don't know if they were already planning on doing that or they are now interested in this area, but
Oh, that's great. That's exciting.
yeah. And then, Mike, this update is for you. Last meeting, we talked about Portage Park District hike collaboration. I talked to Andrea Metzler at Portage Park District and asked if there was any plans to do some sort of program with them that included hikes from different parks. She said she's had an idea for a parks passport program, which would be where they kind of go around. This is in the planning stages now, but where they would go around with some sort of booklet and they would get stamps or credit for going to different parks in the community. So she said that's a 2021 planning project that would hopefully be implemented in 2022. So I told her
That's
I'm interested in that and I'd like to work with her on it.
Yeah, we just have to get our trails up to snuff, you know. I don't want
Yes.
to be embarrassed.
Right. So that's probably good timing for that. So we'll get trails updated this year and then passport program next year.
Very good. Thank you.
I have 2 more things. I know it's a long one. From our admin meeting a couple weeks ago, one of my goals was to organize the YouTube channel, and that has been done. So if you post anything to our YouTube channel, there are 4 different playlists. There's zoning, trustee meetings, parks, and another one I can't think of. I think it's like maybe community events or something like that. But they're organized now. And if you need me to put something in a playlist for you, I'd be happy to do that. So just let me know.
Perfect. Thank you for
And
doing it.
then, oh, sorry.
I said thank you for doing that. It makes it easier for people to find info now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then the last item is the Parks Advisory Committee. The next meeting is Thursday, February 18th at 6:30 on Zoom. And we will be working on the mission and vision statement for the Parks Department, which is a 2021 goal for the Parks Department. And that is all.
Any questions for Cassie? The only thing I ask is next trustee meeting in 2 weeks. Can you work with Myers by then, playground equipment, and have pricing and recommendations? Because I'd like the board to be able to vote on that and get that playground equipment moving here in the next 2 weeks.
Sure.
All right. Anything else? All right. Hearing none, we'll move into cemetery. Sue, I was wondering if you could just give us a couple quick updates, one on the headstone project from last year, what we're going to do with that this year, and how the columbarium project's going for you.
Well, the headstone project in the Pioneer Cemetery, I've worked with John and Kevin Nixon at the Portage Monument Company, and we've already sent over an order. This year, I'd like to highlight the Twitchell family. That'd be the Briners and the Twitchells are original settlers. And we're working with Kevin on that. I don't expect the stones to be done till like May or June because of everything else that's going on with the monument company. And also that would be a good time for our road department for the foundations. On the columbarium, John, you have any comments you want to add to this of our contacts with Kevin and how we're going with that?
Sure.
The big tree has to come down first.
Yeah, we chose a spot, and we are using the tree removal company to clear a tree that is 3/4 of the way dead over there anyway. So we need to take it down before it falls on any monuments that we already have. We are going to get out there and measure the whole plat that we're going to put in. We are purchasing one columbarial. If it works, we're going to buy another columbarial and then another flat columbarial. We're buying 2 pillars is what we're doing, but we're only buying one at a time. So that process has started. We're just waiting for Kuntzman to get out and remove the tree and get that spot set up. And then Portage Marble is going to work with us, and we're on our way with that. So hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have it all done.
Each columbarium has 72 spots.
Okay.
And when we sell this, when the people buy the spots, then that actually pays for the columbarium.
Right. Yeah, because I remember the discussion was we would make enough to be able to buy the next columbarium, basically.
Right.
Well, and from a Brimfield Township resident as well, the cost of using the columbarium for a cremation burial is actually going to be a cheaper price for them than actually burying in a lot out there and buying a tombstone and doing all that. It's actually going to be a financial option for people if they choose to do it that way. So it's actually going to be a little cheaper to do it that way.
Sounds good.
Also under cemetery, then this is, I think, more for John and maybe Mike Ladd. How are we coming with any discussions about acquiring any more land for the cemetery? Because I know we're starting to run out of space.
So I've gotten to a person named Adrian Ribovich, and she's a partner of Brennan, Mana, and Diamond LLC. She's reached out to me on behalf of the Pitts family and Wino Group. You know, this is who I was referred to. She's given me some openings, and I'm going to have Lauren set it up. Who would want to be into the meeting to discuss more land?
I would, Mike.
Okay, so it'd be John and Sue.
Yeah, I would like to be there.
Yeah, if you just do John and Sue, I wouldn't have anybody else because I just don't want it to become a public meeting at that point. And then
Yeah, it's research.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to have Lauren reach out, and then we'll send you a Zoom invite. We'll try to get something going on that.
Did they seem interested in talking, Mike?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, we'll see what we can get over there to extend. So just so everybody would know, what we're trying to do is get additional cemetery land over there so we can, cover burials for another 25, 30 years because we're starting to run out of spots. So that became a situation for the cemetery that we're trying to work on. So we'll keep you posted.
Okay. All right. Nothing else under cemetery. We'll move into fiscal. John, we have some old business pieces. Just hopefully you can give some update. I know I had questions, and I think Craig did too. Fuel card. How's that process coming?
Fuel card, we're looking at 2 different ones. We'll have that done next week. The Myers account, we're waiting for them to get back to us. We sent everything that we needed, so we're waiting to get that approved. And we already have a Menards account. So
Okay.
That's already in place.
That one's done. Okay.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
I think my what I'm seeing with Myers when I went down there, they told me every time you purchase, you have to fill out a form, and I just don't think they're right on that. Everybody does a card now. So
No, we
it
had.
doesn't make sense the way they told me to do it. So
We've
just to
sent
give you some
information in.
insight.
I'm going to get together with Rochelle and Kirsten. They've already sent the documents they requested, so we'll just finalize all that with them.
So that's the holdup. They didn't say we couldn't do it. They just said that it was just weird. It seems so old school.
Right. And if that's the way it is, we're not going to do it. But
Right. I talked to a lady up front. I don't know if she knew what she was talking about.
Okay. We'll finalize all that, though, this next week.
Okay.
Perfect. John, do you have any new business you want to talk about?
We're almost done with the budget. So I'm going to submit the budget to Portage County, which we need to do for 21. Then I'm going to get together with all the department heads so we can figure out their budgets and their appropriations. We'll at that point come back to the board to approve the appropriations that were put together. I'm meeting with Craig already. I believe Dave's coming in. I just have to tentatively set up with Roy and Chris. I know we had some dates out there. We just haven't finalized. So that's all going to happen in the next 2 weeks. And hopefully by the next meeting, we'll have a appropriation sheet out there for you guys to vote on. And then we can go from there. We'll be done.
All right.
We did have bigger carryovers this year, probably because of COVID. I mean, it's a different year. But
Well,
we're
we
in the
planned on
process.
that also, though. I mean, that was a request that I think I had brought up. We tried to
That's
have.
what? I'm sorry to hear.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I said I think the carryovers because we also tried to set aside money last year with the COVID. We weren't sure how much we were going to lose in the budget.
We did. It just seems like we had, seems like a little bit more was out there. But I'll have all those final numbers to you guys after I meet with all the department heads and get their budgets all put together.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anything for the good of the order before we go to executive session?
A lot of information.
All right. Hearing none, I'd like to, hang on a second here, let me get this document open. I'd like to move to convene to executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 121.22G for the purpose of considering the following manners. Number 5, matters required to be kept confidential by federal law or regulations or state statutes. I need a second.
I'll second.
In attendance is going to be the trustees, fiscal office, and police department. Anybody else, Roy, that needs to be there? Okay.
No, that's fine.
All
Okay,
right.
all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
Okay, we are adjourned to executive session at 9:30.
All
right.
right. I will make a motion to exit executive session.
Second.
Actually, we don't have to do that. We just come back
Oh,
out.
we don't do it
Oh,
anymore.
that's right. Yeah, we just come out.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we exit executive session. Based upon our discussion, I'd like to make a motion to extend unpaid leave for Diana Liss, leave of absence for 12 weeks, effective date to be determined by Chief Mosley.
Okay, I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
Motion passed. Okay,
Anything else for the good of Brimfield Township? Hearing none, I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
Okay, we are out at 9:46 a.m.